Let's go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and talk to Samantha. What's up, Samantha?
Hi, Dr. John.
How are you?
Nice to speak with you. I'm good. How are you?
Remarkable. We are rocking on till the break of dawn. What's up?
Okay, so I am currently separated from my husband for about 3 years. We have 2 children together, and I recently found out that he got a DUI. So I'm just wondering how or if I should talk to the kids about this, what boundaries I should set.
How old are the kids?
15 and 12. Well, almost 16. She's turning 16 next month.
So my first question is, why in the world are y'all separated but not divorced?
Well, the one thing that's keeping us married right now is insurance. I carry the health insurance, and just trying to, give that to him for now instead of adding an extra expense.
Why did y'all get separated?
Mainly because of his drinking.
Can I tell you some real hard truths? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that you know what I'm about to say. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to keep a fantasy alive, and you have to let it go.
Okay.
You love this guy, possibly more than he loves himself, and he's also dangerous and he has hurt you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You made a choice for your safety to leave. Whether that's physical safety, emotional safety, psychological safety, whatever, you made a choice to go. But what you're doing is you're suffocating everybody, and you're not letting people go. And so the idea that, did you leave him?
Yes.
Do you have some deep guilt over that?
I do, because I kept the house and he moved out. So I have guilt with that. And, he still, says I'm the one, that did this and made this choice. And, so I do carry that.
It feels like you were trying to pacify or Band-Aid over your guilt by saying, but at least I give him health insurance. I've kicked him out. He's created his own life, but at least I still provide him health insurance.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Sam, I'm never going to, you've heard me say this. If you were in an abusive situation, I would tell you, something told you have to leave. You got to get out of there. And you left, but only part way. And if you're going to be gone after 3 years, you got to go. Your kids are bearing the brunt of this. Okay? And I know that's hard to say, and it's hard to hear. I'm a dad too. That's the worst thing I could possibly hear. But your kids are continuing this fantasy that mom and dad are still married. They just live separately and your husband's drinking is clearly still not in control. And now he's putting your kids' lives at risk because they get to go see him. Is that right?
Well, they only really see him about once a week for a few hours.
Okay. That will begin to change as they get older. Unless there's some sort of... Okay, let me just cut to it. Did he ever hurt you?
No.
So why'd you leave? Did he cheat on you?
No. I just couldn't take the drinking anymore. And he was getting a little verbally abusive, calling me names, just being mean towards me. And I just, we were fighting all the time, and I didn't want the kids to continue to live in that situation.
Right. And I think that's a wise choice. I'm not for 1 second going to say that wasn't a good choice. Do you have desires to be married to him?
No. I am grieving the loss of what I thought my life would be.
There you go.
But him being the person who he is right now, I do not wish to be with him, no.
Okay, the way you just said that suggests, but maybe one day he'll not be that person that he is, and then it will all work out. And you're trying to have a foot in both worlds, and you can't do that. Because you're asking this 15-year-old and this 12-year-old to have feet in both worlds too, and they can't do that. You can't do that. And I'll tell you, even you're making yourself insane. You know that. You are, right?
A little, yeah.
You're running 2 households, and you're parenting him too. I could just go on. I don't want to beat you up. I'm just telling you, you've got to make a decision. I'm going to be married with this guy, and we're going to go to therapy, and we're going to try to figure this out. And he's going to decide to stop drinking and stop being unsafe. And
no, I think that ship has sailed.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you've got to move on with your life.
Yeah.
For your sake, for his sake, you're dragging him through this. He still thinks there's a chance this comes back together. If he got completely sober today, went stone sober, went to AA every day for 30 days, got clean, came back to you, would you have him back?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe. I don't know. I think there's a lot of hurt and resentment with both of us. So I'm not sure if that would even be enough at this point.
Somehow you've drawn a line in your house between kicking him out and getting divorced. Where does that line come from? Because it's been 3 years.
I know.
You have an imaginary line between that this is not great, but it's okay. But if I cross this line, I'm done for. And here's what I would tell you. You've crossed that line. You're way past that line.
Yeah.
And so what you've done now is put yourself in an unsafe position because you were still legally bound to this person.
Yeah.
Your kids are still legally bound to this person who is demonstrating again with the third DUI. He's unsafe.
Yeah.
And he's clearly needs help and support. And I love the guy. I think the greatest gift you could give him is to cut him loose.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And I wouldn't say this for 30 days if you were having a 30-day separation. I think those are important sometimes. Or we've been apart for 6 months and we're still going to therapy. This isn't that. This is you've been divorced for 3 years. You've just never gone through the process.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's another thing. If you called me and said, hey, this happened 3 years and then my husband's been clean for 4 months and I still love him, I would say go all in. I'd be all for that. Obviously do it safely and all that. But it doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, he doesn't think he has a problem.
Okay. And so that exceeds the scope of this call. What I would tell you is you've got to at some point start making some plans. Okay. To answer your original question, I would not have, if I felt it unsafe to be with somebody, I would feel this, especially that about my kids.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way I would look at that problem. If people get divorced because such and such cheated on me, I still think people can be great parents there. I think you figured that out. You co-parent, or we just fight a lot, whatever. We just have different values. People get divorced for a million different reasons. If somebody leaves a home because that person's unsafe, then I'm going to go to the mat for my kids too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And I think that's partially why I do not push the issue of him having the children more, because I just not sure if that's the best for them.
Say that statement again, but tell me truthfully. You said I'm not so sure that that's the best for them. Tell me the truth on that statement.
I'm not sure what.
You know that it's not safe for them.
Yeah.
You know that. Somebody told you a long time ago that what you think and feel and believe doesn't matter, and I'm telling you it does.
Mm-hmm.
And living with an alcoholic, that's often, you're crazy. You're ridiculous. You're not seeing things.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Did you grow up with an alcoholic too?
No.
This is all new?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's had a problem ever since we were together.
Okay.
I just thought he would grow out of it.
You were going to fix him? That was so kind of you to think that way.
Yes, exactly.
And then it's like, I know it will help. Let's have a baby. And it's like, I know what will happen. Help 2 babies.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here you find yourself. I'm heartbroken for you. I'm heartbroken for him. I hope he gets the help that he needs. He deserves that. And those kids deserve their dad. Based on what I'm looking at right here, he doesn't sound safe. Doesn't sound safe.
Yeah.
And you've put yourself in a situation, your kids in a situation, and him in a situation that's untenable. Just this kind of half in, half out fantasy life. I can go through my day and never have to say the words "I'm divorced."
Yeah.
I get to say that. I mean, it's just kind of it's bordering on disingenuous at this point.
Yeah.
And that might mean you have to sell the house and split equity, all that ugliness, right? That's part of legal separation. But I would suggest that's part of the decision you made when you decided to move out kick him out 3 years ago. Not that it's a wrong decision, that decision comes with consequence, like all decisions happen, right?
Right.
And so it's time to get with a good counselor and a good lawyer and start having those hard conversations, or to sit down with him and say, where are we? What's the status of our relationship? Does he still have fantasies about getting back with you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why hasn't he filed on you? Because of health insurance?
Yeah, I mean, really, the insurance is like the main thing. He has already signed over the house to me. Really? That's the only thing. Yeah, it's just an extra expense that he doesn't want to have right now.
What's the equity accumulated in that home?
Oh, probably $60,000.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Okay, so he just gave it to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you do what you want to do. I would not, if I was in this situation and I had been married to somebody who was struggling with alcohol abuse and alcohol addiction, and they have a history of DUIs, and they got yet another one, it would be less about it. Do I tell the kids and all that? It would be, my kids will not be, dad's struggling. Dad's sick. He's struggling. And we're not going to get in the car with dad. I, as a parent, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow it. And if he's unsafe at home too, you just can't be there when he's drinking, which is all the time now. So we're just not going to go over there.
Yeah.
They don't
typically go over to his house.
Okay. The best way forward there is a court outlining those protections.
Okay.
Because right now he's their dad and he's still your husband. And so there are still some, at any moment he comes in and says, no, those are my kids. And I can have them whenever I want them. And you would say, no, you can't. And he'd be like, who says who? Right?
Yeah.
That's where the court really helps define. Because the court says, I say so when it comes to child safety.
Okay.
All of this breaks my heart, Sam. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I know it's the worst.
Yeah,
You have somebody with you. I know. And this isn't how you drew it up, right? You didn't want it to be like this. You didn't want your kids to come from a divorced family, right?
Absolutely not.
I know that stinks, man. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your values and beliefs and feelings count. They matter. They're important. And
thank you.
Yeah. Good luck with what comes next. It's going to be, hey, listen, make no mistake, this is going to be hard. The next few steps are going to be hard. They're actually going to be harder than you think, and they're going to be easier in some other ways. That's tough. Yeah. Get with a counselor and get with an attorney soon. And let's dig into what's next.